Welcome to Daddy Issues.
Welcome to Daddy Issues, everybody. I am lonely-ish. I'm lonely-isher. My wife is down with a broken fucking finger. I don't know, that sounded dramatic. Her whole fucking hand isn't out of commission. I know it's like a finger for sure, though. And so I've been missing her, and in the midst of my depression, I found someone with the light that I need in my life, you know? Not that I'm, like, wandering or anything. Like, I'm still staying in the yard, but, you know, I found a blue-haired Betty, and she's kind of awesome, and I want to share her with all of you, so welcome to the show, the blue-haired Betty.
Hello!
She's got a Led Zeppelin shirt that I've already commented on like half a dozen times because I want it. Like, if I could just steal that shirt from screen to screen. In fact, I'll swap with you. This Bob Marley shirt, I've got two of, so I'll just give you mine, and I'll take yours.
Well, this one has stains on it, but I got it at Target. And it's the Led Zeppelin shirt where his penis isn't on it. Because this one was, like, controversial because there was supposed to be a penis, but then they took it off.
Not anatomically correct.
Censored angel who's a eunuch. That
really long hair on that angel, by the way.
I know. I'm jealous.
Are you trying to grow your hair out?
And no hair on his. No, I grew it out. Then I bleached it 1,000,000 times to make it blue, and then I had to cut some of it.
Yeah.
But I'll grow it again.
Yeah, I like your blue hair. It compliments you. It suits you. So I'm gonna tell everybody how I met this lovely lady. So she found me I found you, kind of. Weirdly, you were suggested to me or something like that on Facebook because she was already awesome to somebody else. She is an amazing hairstylist and she's got a very nice, sunny personality. But it turns out that she is... Hold on. Technical difficulty. All of a sudden my phone made a call. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, phone? I have no idea what that was about. Christ, phone. My phone is cock-blocking my show right now. It's like, don't even show. Don't even show right now. So, what I was starting to say before I was rudely interrupted by a technical difficulty my goddamn phone did. This lovely lady has done my hair and fixed a disaster that I basically wallowed in for, I don't know, since November when it was done. So I got my hair done, and it's one of those things, and I feel like I am reaching out to every lady on the planet when I say this. You go in with a fucking vision, and you come out with a fucking train wreck you have to live with, that you paid a lot of money for, usually. And in my case, I paid $300 for what you saw. And I'm not saying, like, I recognize you're paying for someone's time, so I'm not saying I should have paid nothing. I'm not that bitch. But, like, I wanted black-haired, silver bottom. I got blonde hair. And I already had black hair.
Brown. It was like brown with orange glow.
Yeah. Well, and that's like, I don't know how it really looked initially to someone else. To me, it was just shocking the way it looked. It took me months to adjust to my hair. Like,
it's hard. It's hard.
It's a female struggle. Like, I feel like you can understand this. Well, you're a little bit more on the side of you can understand how it would ruin someone's entire fucking week because you do it for a living, whereas some people might not be as empathetic. Like, a chick goes to the salon, they're like, oh, whatever, get over it, you know, it's over now. But, like, you're looking at it and you're like, but I spent so much time and money. What'd you say?
I said, that is so not fun. I mean, as a hairdresser, this sounds like a job interview, but I really take every single person. Like, you sit in my chair, it's not about me and my ego or you, or even sometimes somebody will be like, I want this, and I'll be like, girl, you can't have that right now. Like, you need to wait a couple of times. Your hair will be on the floor. Like, I really take it, like, seriously, like, in a way that's like, I look at... Yeah, I'd be like, you're my, if I were you, if you were my sister or my daughter or my cousin, I'd tell you how I feel because I really care, even if I don't know you. I feel like hairdressers should do that.
Yeah, they should. They should, because you know what? Quite frankly, bitches don't know. We don't know how our hair works. I'm gonna be honest. Like, in my head,
Chemistry.
I'm being honest. Like, look at me right now. I look busted AF. Okay,
No,
I can admit it.
Girl.
Aw, thank
Look
you.
at you. You look like a sweet girl.
I do look like a sweet girl. It's very disarming for people because then they don't know what to expect. But it's like the wapow. You didn't know that was happening, did you? I also like having blonde hair we talked about this. I like having blonde hair for that reason. But yeah, no, I think as a stylist, that has to be one of the first things that you think about because it impacts their life. It doesn't actually just impact their day. You know, for women, physical image has a lot to do with who you are. And I think we should just be fucking honest about that. You don't have to fucking lie about it. You know, we want to look good for each other, for the man, whoever.
It's your crown. Like, I know that sounds corny, but
no,
it's true.
love that, actually.
Every woman that I meet, you're going through something, and there's something going on. And sometimes it's super hella traumatic. And I have been able to see, like, a woman go from, like, their bottommost level to, like, look at me now, I'm in Paris in a Lamborghini, like, fucking doing it. Woo! And, like, literally, this last weekend, I have, like, those most amazing stories, and people will send me letters like, you know, you cut off my ex-husband, or you did this, and I see the transformation. I'm sitting here, like, in my house just chilling with my kids, but I'm watching them, like, live these, like, next-level situations because they're feeling themselves in a way that's, like, really cool, and I like that. Makes me feel like an angel.
Well, and, yeah, you became my hair angel, because when I went in there, I was so honest before I ever met her. And I try to be honest in all facets of my life, which has resulted in this podcast being a thing. But I have to say, like, I was nervous after what had happened. I spent what felt like 6 hours in a chair the last time because it was like, whatever I was in there for was not, you know, I came out not getting what I needed. So, but I didn't want to I felt guilty, feeling ungrateful. So then when I finally approached you, there was like this, like, it was like dating again. It was like, hey, I'm thinking about calling you this time, and, you know, listen, I don't want things to move too fast, but I'm thinking about going blonder, and, you know, like, I was a little nervous to just sit in somebody else's chair and be like, okay, I'm ready to do this again, because I never intentionally wanted to be a blonde until I went into your chair.
Okay.
And then I was like, fuck it, now I'm halfway there, let's fix this mess. And that's what it was. And you do beautiful work. And you guys have to check her out. She is in, well, you can fucking plug your shit. You know where you are. I don't know the address. Where can people find you?
Well, the best place to find me is if you go on Instagram and go Caroline the Colorist, and it should pop up this beautiful rainbow hair. And honestly, that's the best place to find me because then you know where I'm at no matter what. Like, Instagram is that place. But right now, yeah, I'm definitely at Salon Resta in Delray. It's like this cool little quirky shop.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a little vibe. Mm-hmm. There's like very limited douchebaggery. It's limited. Yeah.
Shout out to the redhead. Just saying.
Redhead?
The 25-year-old who was acting like her life was so hard. She's like a tiny little thing.
Oh, yeah.
Clicky little heels.
Cat. The kitty cat.
The little kitty cat. She's cute.
Yeah, she is cute. When you first meet her, you want to be like, shut the fuck up. Like, literally. Like, everything about her makes... And I told her this. And, like, everything about her makes you want to be like, I don't like you. You're obnoxious. Because she has an obnoxiousness about her.
I like how you make friends.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't like anything about talking to you, but...
Go fuck yourself. But then you actually get into it with her. And even though, yes, there's very obnoxious nature in there, there's also this amazingly sweet person that's like cool. And you're just like, okay, I'll deal with all that crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I walked into your shop, I had no idea what to expect. This was like I said, the first time I've been back to get my hair done since November. And I think a lot of that was fear. Like, I had buyer's remorse, and then I had, like, I was deer in headlights for a while, and then I like adjusted and I was like, okay, this is okay. Okay, I'm alright with this. And then it was like, oh, it's going bad. It's worse. It's worse than I thought. I'm now taking notice of how it looks. And then I went to you.
It wasn't that terrible, I promise.
It was livable for like, that's I think why I lived with it for as long as I did. Because I could make it, like if I curled it, it was alright. It was acceptable. But I say all of that, and then I sat down in your chair, and then when we talked about everything, it was like, you just got it. You just understood. You know, and when you're like, it's your crown, I was like, yes!
It is your crown.
Yes!
Girl, this is what, yes. I sound like a serious person, but like every person, and I don't care who you are, like especially a woman, like you women out here, like we are subjected to so much bullshit and like the world and just nonsense. Like we just want to feel pretty for us. Like I don't care what Kim Kardashian's doing, even though we all want to see that platinum blonde hair turn to pink and then fall on the floor.
Yeah, we all do that. I want to see that train wreck. I want to see it on E. I have to.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like,
and then her and her girlfriend Bruce can like compare like notes on
vaginas.
Yeah, well that I mean Bruce has a tighter vagina because his is fresher.
His vagina is probably just the best Kardashian vagina.
It probably has to be because he paid for it first of all.
So much money for that.
He paid a lot for it, and also I mean Kim. Chloe for sure. I mean, they have been railed so hard. You know that I could fucking take, like, I'm thinking pipe drain and just like throw it as if it was like a pole vault, and it would just, I mean, there would still be room probably for like a couple other people.
Yeah, like a whole party.
I mean, Kanye is probably the smallest motherfucker ever. He has to be. Nobody is that angry with that big of a dick. Because if you have a big dick, you're like, you're secure.
You ain't worried about shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't worried because you're like, somebody gonna take it home. It's all right.
But there are the occasional big dick dudes that are like just out of their minds. Because their dick's so big. They're like, I don't give a fuck. But I don't think Kanye is that guy.
Yeah, you better treat it where you meet it because, you know, I tell people, I recently, this is like a running joke between me and my co-hosts, like the people that I run into in Florida. We have a whole segment called Cuz Florida. And so we talk about how like I run into all these strange people and like the strange interactions I have, but like when I run into people with like offbeat lives, I then start thinking in terms of material, and then it brings me back to, okay, how could I work this into the show? So when I met you, I was like, she's got style. She thinks that, well, first of all, you had a similar sense of humor. Yeah, the wheels were turning in my head, and then I was like, I wonder if she would have any interest in going the distance. But like, you have the type of sense of humor and level of honesty that I felt like could handle it. And by the way, this is a really important episode, and I'll tell you why. Because you are the first fucking female guest I've ever gotten to agree to join us.
Really?
Ever. I have had so many no-shows. We've had so many close calls. We had a couple of people that bailed last minute. And I always tell people to listen to the show first, just on the off chance they won't like it. But you've also met me. So, like, I wasn't as worried about you because, like, the shit we were talking in your salon, we should have cleared that shit hours earlier.
No, but for real. And there was that one girl next to us.
The goody two-shoes. She was gorgeous, that girl.
Beautiful girl.
She was fucking gorgeous. I would tap the shit out of that.
I'm sure you would. The girl doing her hair wanted to tap the shit out.
I could tell. I was like, hold on now. Dude, I could see it. She was like, the way she looked at her is the way my old hairdresser used to look at me, and she was thirsty as fuck for me. So
could I have been more thirsty? I'm just like, I'm tired. I'm a mom. I'm like, I ain't thirsty. I'm tired.
I'm celibate. Is that the same? Like,
I mean, yeah. I feel like.
Well, I mean, there's vibrators for the hard times. You know. Oh, speaking of, shout out to Lilo. I have heard wonderful things about your product from my co-host. However, my vibrator just broke, and I don't have one. So if you're feeling generous, I would so like to try yours out. That's just for me. hopefully more comes for me, and so that I can come for it. I really want to work with this company, though. I went to a store the other day, and I saw the product, and here's something cool about it. So when you're going at it, like, so there's like normal vibrator, and it's like, okay, cool. And it's got like settings and shit like that. You're like, okay, cool. Seen that, done that. Here's something you haven't seen. You push back on it, it pushes back on you.
How does that happen?
What, bitch? What did you just do then? It's like it's like a jackhammer if you need it. But like it does. Okay, I say a jackhammer. It's not really a jackhammer.
That's hilarious.
But like it matches your mood basically. So like if you are like running all that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, yes we are. Yes, we're gonna do that. And the train comes. So I was like, you know what I need in a fucking robot? More commitment. Because I don't get it in men. I mean, so I need it somewhere. I don't get, for sure you don't get it in women. That actually was something we talked about in your shop too. Remember, I made the comment, talk about a fucking silence falling over the room. I was talking about how lesbians always cheat on each other, and that's why I'm only half lesbian.
Oh, snap.
And I was like, yeah.
Oh, snap. It was because, like, some people were having some situations.
Oh,
and
I walked right into that.
Yeah. You walked in. And I'm like the outside perspective of that situation. But it was just kind of like, but it was cool. Because you know what? I mean, the cool thing, like, you're talking about, like, my work wife, who's awesome. But
yeah, she is. She's really cool. And I think she's awesome, too.
They're down to earth. Like, they are, like, they face who they are and what they're doing. And I like people like that.
Yeah,
Shit,
I do, too.
You know what I mean?
That's why I do this.
Authentic.
Yeah, be who you are.
And so I was down for doing it. So I was like, let's go. Let's see.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like awkward and weird.
You're not. You're not at all. Like, you're weird, but you're weird like I'm weird in a different direction. So it's perfect. Everybody's got their own vibe. But yeah, your work wife is adorable.
Cute.
She's cute. She's very cute.
Like, it works for us because we're not, like, I'm not fully lesbian inclined, but she obviously is. But the thing is, like, we're not actually attracted to each other, even though I think she thinks that a slice of this pie would be cute one day. But, like, I'm
dead over here. Slice of this pie.
But I don't necessarily, she's not like the type of girl that I'd be like, yes, she's sexy, look at that. Like, and she doesn't feel like that with me, but we have like a good vibe together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, her personality is what makes her attractive.
Yeah.
Like, she's got I like her vibe.
Beautiful.
She is beautiful, and I like that kind of heartfelt honesty that she had, because when I didn't know I was walking in shit, but I should have, because she's a lesbian and all of them have cheated. So it's like, I just know that about
a lesbian.
Us. You know, it's like, so, but I made that joke, and she gives a look to the other chick gives a look to her, and I was like, oh, and this was my reaction. I was like, I just stepped in shit. I'm sorry. Let me just walk out real quick. Only you were still doing my hair, dude. So I was isolated, and I just caused a crime scene, and no, it was funny. She was really cool about it, but she was candid about it. She was like, oh yeah, that's what just happened, or that's happened here, and I was like, oh, fuck. And then she's like, and then she did, and I was like, oh, see, now that story I know, because that's basically what it's like, it's tit for tat. Which, I will say, I don't see as much in heterosexual relationships as frequently as I have in female-to-female relationships. It's like, because when I was in one, several of them, I've dated, actually, this is something interesting that some people know, but not a lot of people know. I've dated more women than I have men, by a lot. But I think it all, for me, has to do with what's in someone's mind, not even physicality. I've dated all shapes and sizes of people.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you're, like, in heterosexual relationships, I feel like there aren't the same exact themes when it comes to, in the lesbian community, I mean, it's rampant. The cheating is rampant.
And I would hope that it would be the opposite, because, like, men always think with their dicks, You'd think like girls would be like, I love you. Let's like knit and
You know
have
what?
kittens. I fucking know what that. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's
Maybe
kind
I'm
of
wrong.
I think that's the goal we all have, is like in our minds, it's like baking cookies and not stabbing each other. And then in reality, it's like you have to take the dog out and you have 2 kids together and the bills are due, and it is very much the relationship that you would expect in that respect. But man, if you fucking piss each other off. So, I was thinking about something we should chat about. Because I was talking last week about what I thought, which I need to make a clarification, what I thought was I thought it was a nightmare that I just had. Turns out it actually happened to me, because I clarified with the person who was in the nightmare with me. It's actually happened to me. So, in that vein, bad sex stories and or bad dating stories. I have a ton of these. But since you're the guest, do you have anything?
Okay, so this is funny to me because
Because you're cute, because I know you've had some stories.
Well, this is funny. I've been married for about 10 years, like legit married. And like
You're like, I really
and
don't try anything with anyone else. I really am just there.
No, yeah, like
Yeah.
because I'm a bad girl, but I got tamed by the right man. So it's like
Good girl.
Yeah. But anyway, long story short, though, before him, I was a fucking wreck.
You're like, I was a hoe
while
faux
we
show.
were friends, while we were friends, because he had met me through some people, and he said from the moment he met me, I even have a picture of the moment we met and him looking at me, he was like, I'm going to marry that girl.
Aww.
And we were like barely 21, and I was like, this motherfucker is not going to have this, ever. And then I was very clear with him. And it wasn't anything like that. It was just, I wasn't attracted. He wasn't the right height requirement. He was cute. I had this rugged Viking look, like literally gutter punk from Miami, overgrown mohawk, real bad boy. Like not the bad boy who I shop at Hot Topic. He's like, I done jacked this jacket from 5 people. These boots I done found. Bitch, I smell a little bit, but you like it. He was a bad boy.
And you liked it.
Bad.
No,
I know.
I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I like me a fucking Viking. That you.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking.
Yeah.
If they throw you over your shoulder and fucking take you home, that's what you want.
I used to call him the Viking. That was his nickname. But he was.
That's how you know you want him.
But I didn't want him. It was weird. I wasn't really into it. And he
did he have a beard?
Kept trying to. At the time, he had baby scruff, but he was 21. Now he has a beard down to the middle of his chest.
Legendary status.
Yeah.
Is he at wizard or legendary? There is different levels.
I wouldn't say legendary because I feel like it does. No, well, it does kind of go to a point, but then it furls.
Oh, okay. So he's got some class of sass at the bottom.
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily groom it. It just grew out, and then every once in a while he lets me kind of get some things, and then under his lips so he can eat.
Got it.
But he just let me, because I once said, I'm like, can I make it blue? And he was like, no, because he's a dick. And I was like, come on, I'll make it blue. It'll be cute. Fuck that. And I was like, okay. And then a week later, he's like, let's make it blue. And so that was our whatever. Anyway, his beard is.
So how did he tame you? How did he was it sheer power of will? Did he break you down over the years?
Well, it was a mixture of things. I was going through a really self-destructive phase, but I was getting out of doing drugs and partying. I was a party girl for a minute. I was in a horrible relationship. It was really bad. And
you needed to be stolen. Sometimes
you I broke up with that guy. But when you break up with someone, but you still linger these thoughts of we're soulmates and we're meant to be kind of bullshit.
Fucking yes.
And then they drag you along with that whole concept.
Yep.
100%. He still tries to play that game. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but the last time I spoke to him, which was a fluke, I was just trying to like concerned for his life or whatever. And in front of his fiance, he said, I'm going to marry you and you're my soulmate still. In front of his fiance.
Wow.
Sick bastard. And then I just thought to myself, like, wow, I really, really saved myself.
You know, and that actually brings up a thought, which is, ladies, it ain't fucking worth it. You don't need to stick with somebody that don't want to stick with you, and you don't need to stick with someone just because there's someone to be with, either. Like, come the fuck on. It is a new day.
He was one of those guys, though. He was very tall, extremely handsome, like tatted up another.
He got away
boy,
with it, is what you're saying.
He could do whatever he wanted.
Yep.
And pretty much every single girl I met, and they just were like, damn, I'd hit that no matter what. And I was like,
and they
I get
did.
it. I said it too.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, now as a grown woman, I'm like, fuck, I wouldn't even go near that dude. Like,
yeah.
I was young and dumb.
That's exactly the stage you get to, I think. I personally have been there, where you get to a point where you're like, okay, let's be mature adults. Let's adult together. Oh, we can't adult together? Let's not fucking do anything. You know, and it you come out initially looking like the asshole and for sure feeling like shit about it. You know, because there's like a moment where every woman has had the moment where you curl up in your bed at night and it's just you.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, that shit sucks no matter how shitty he was. And worse, if he wasn't always shitty in some ways, because even if you knew it was like the right time. But like, for me, once, and I know this is not normal and probably shouldn't be this way, but like when I say I'm fucking done, there is no return. There is no, let's do this. I've only dated one person more than once, and he was really the undoing of my company years ago. And so, like, I would never fucking repeat that mistake. And now, you talk about growing up. Yeah, you liked that fucking cake before, but now you're like, but the muffin makes sense right now, because I'm on my way to work. And this goes with my coffee. That's what you get to. You get to a point where you're more practical and you're like, I want a man who can fuck me right, who can show the fuck up, be honest with me, and be real as hell.
Yeah, like that's more attractive to me than the bad boy thing. Like, I need a man. Okay, now I'm going into another tangent.
Okay,
like,
but hold on. I do need somebody who can break their face, though. Because if somebody grabs my ass and you're not ready to, I'll probably be happy to hit them. But, like, if you're not willing to fucking throw down for your woman, we won't work. Because I need that in a man.
I mean, I take it to a whole other level. This is where my mind frame goes. Like, if this man, if the apocalypse, like, if this happens, right, the apocalypse, this impending doom that people have.
It's happening. It's happening right on this show.
I fucking need a man that is not only gonna hold it down, he's gonna fight, he can fight, he can conquer, and then we fucking reign supreme. So in the ashes of post-apocalyptic bullshit, we rise like the phoenixes that we are and fucking do this shit, okay? Like, I need that. I need a Viking warrior, like, motherfucker who takes no prisoners. Like, I need that. And that's hard to find. That's almost impossible.
You know what you need? Somebody that'll come and pillage the village. That's what you need.
Well, no, I already found him. That's my husband.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm saying for women everywhere, you need a fucking motherfucker who knows what's right and wrong, who fucking stands his own game up. You know, that's the other thing I have a problem with. And that was a defining difference between me and my insignificant others. I'll stand on my own with or without you. Hear my voice whether or not you like it, it's still gonna be there. And if you don't like it, I'll be fine. Because I've already learned by being broken by the first one that I'll survive it. And, you know, I come off probably very cold to people who don't know me at all. Like, not necessarily women as much, because I'm very relatable. But when it comes to men, if I think that you're into me, you're going to get the hardest side of me first.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, you're going to get the hardest side of me first. And I do feel that way. It's like, bitches, if you're not making them jump through hoops on the front end, you know what it's going to look like in 20 years. Like shit. It's gonna look like shit. You're gonna be picking up shit. You're gonna be fucking wiping their ass or some shit like that. If you're gonna do all that, make sure that the front end, you like him so much that your shit hand in 20 years is gonna make sense to you. Because if it doesn't, and he's fucking dragging you down and telling you're a piece of shit, or he's telling you, like, you have to lose another 10 pounds to meet his quota, fuck him, move on, find her. Or just find a different him, depending on what your flavor is.
I mean, I think it's hard out here, like, finding authentic people who aren't like blinded by their own bullshit is impossible. And so, I mean, even in those cases, like, I did get married super young, and every once in a while I'm like, damn, like, I have no idea what it's like to be like single, like, as an adult. But at the same rate, I look at these motherfuckers out here and I'd be like, oh, these motherfuckers could not. Like, I couldn't even. Like, not even for a second. And I mean, I work in the hair salons, and I walk around and I'd be like, everyone was like a puss ass. Am I bad? I'm sorry if I'm insulting people out there.
No, you're not. You're being real. No, you're being fucking real, and you should be. Like, let's be honest. When you roll up here and you're working your Versace glasses and you're fucking bitching to me, I can't take you seriously.
Yeah.
Right off. I'm not taking you seriously. And I've been the rich bitch. But I was self-made. Nobody fucking handed me the fucking silver spoon. I earned it. And so, when I hear people saying, well, Gen Xers or not Gen Xers, I'm sorry. I'm the fuck generation. It doesn't even matter what I am. But, like, it's to a point now where it's like, no, this isn't a cultural problem. We aren't correcting a social issue we've had, which is women are to a point where we want to stand on our own, but it's like, how much do you want to be spoon-fed as a culture either way? Like, I don't like people who don't want to earn what is on the table. So if you're going to bitch to me about how hard your life is and you do nothing to change it, I'm only going to listen for so long.
Truth.
Same thing with your relationships. And so when I have many female friends who are in unsatisfactory relationships for various reasons. And it's like, to a certain extent in marriage, it's like you go in knowing that it's like some of it's going to suck and it's not all going to be what you wanted and whatever. And you stay in the marriage and you love each other anyway. But then there's the people who are like physically there because it's convenient, or like one of my very, very good friends, she has admitted to me, she's like, yeah, like, we haven't fucked in like 4 years. Their oldest is like, and so it doesn't make sense, the timeline, honestly. But the more I think I'm thinking of it, I was about to say how old their kid was, so it doesn't make sense. But her point being, it had been a really long time. And I was like, okay, so what are you doing about it? Kind of thing. And she was like, well, like, I've tried this and I've tried that. And then that kind of turned into, well, now there are problems. Now that turned into, well, now we're actually not getting along. And that turned into something else. And it always grows bigger, if you don't address a problem. But
it's usually resentment. You know what I mean?
It's the little shit that adds up, isn't it?
I mean, even the big stuff, like, especially if it's over time. But, like, you'll be like, oh, I forgave him for saying that one comment. But guess what? I was 9 months pregnant, and that was bullshit. So I'm going to hold it over his head, even though I'm not going to say anything. Like,
yeah. Mentally, you're like, I'm still at the stone, you bitch.
You bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I am very stubborn when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I'm very nice and sweet and will give somebody everything I can, but I feel like over time the world has shown me that you can't be that nice.
Yeah.
So my flip point goes from like the nicest person to I will run you over with my car, which I once did to my husband.
This is how I know we're gonna make excellent friends. My co-host is always talking about, shout out to Lily Bongwater, I miss you. Blue-haired Betty will be meeting you in the future. We're missing you right now, but like, she talks about tire fires and like, I would never want to be on her shit list in the history of ever. the things that she finds scary are way scarier than things that I find scary. So it's like, I like a tough bitch in my life. I appreciate that quality in a woman. And I also like women who stand up for themselves and are okay with who they are. You know, you don't have to change for me. One of the things I said to you in that shop is, you can be exactly who you are. Or you can be nothing like who you are, depending on how you're feeling that day. That's the benefit of being on my show. But, you know, I had someone ask me recently, well, how much is the character you're on air like you? And I was like, the character?
Yeah.
I was like, this is just me this is me behind the curtain. And that was really the theme of the show, was to let people kind of walk in on what women talk about, the things that we think about, or how fucking far we go on our thinking, without having the same boundaries as, like, on Facebook, I can't even be honest. Well, I wouldn't be honest on Facebook, to be honest with you.
I think it's hard for me in sometimes because I do have clients who are on Facebook and I don't want to be offensive. So
that was me for like my whole professional life.
Weird shit out like that. I mean, I put some weird shit out, but then like every once in a while I'll get like in a weird mood and like start a feud with a client's grandma. Like why? I don't know why. I didn't even start it. It just happened. Like I'd say something and it sounded offensive to that person. That person's like, you mean it towards me. And I was like, I don't know you, but
I don't know you.
And she'd be, oh, this was funny. She was like, you need to tell your little friends to back off or I'll bust her in the ass. And I was like, oh, bitch, okay. And this is before I knew it was her grandmother.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, no disrespect, ma'am, but I ain't little. Like, I ain't little.
I'll take you, you old bitch. I'll take that walker right out. I'll take that hip right out of you.
Motherfucker. But then when I realized, like, she's a feisty little old, like, I thought it was cute. Like, I like feisty people. Those are my favorite people.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably why you do as well as you do, not only on this show right now, but, like, just in general. Like, you respond well to energy. Like, you seem to get people's vibe and be able to work around that very well.
To a certain degree, but honestly, fake people, like, you and I matched. Like, we were a match. I knew it almost, like, as soon as we started talking, I was like, yes. But then, like, and I feel like the universe is always doing that with me, and I get really cool people. Like, I'm thankful for my clients. If you guys are listening, you guys make going to work, like, doable for me every single day. But, you know, every once in a while I get a fakie or, like, one of those bitches. And then I'm like, okay, I could deal with you for, like, 2 hours. Let's go. And then and I can do, like, because I can tend to get the real out of fake easily.
You just have to dig harder.
It's a lot of work.
Sometimes you have to use a spoon or a chisel. You can't always get to it with the fucking jackhammer. Like, you can't usually get straight down to business.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, the fake people don't work well with me. Because they want me to put on a show. And I'm like, this is the show. You're on it.
You're like, this is actually my show. And you showed the fuck up to it. Welcome and you're welcome.
I don't like that.
You're like, see how that works? That word works on both levels, bitches. Welcome and you're welcome.
Yeah.
So,
welcoming.
I am going to share a story with you.
Okay.
That it's actually kind of, it's why I'm afraid to date now. Not that that's, like, on my radar at all, because it's fucking not. I'm gonna
You're
be
afraid
honest.
to what?
Date.
Okay.
Like, I mean, you've lived in Florida. I could end up in somebody's trunk, so there's that.
Or they can end up in your trunk.
Or that.
That's how you gotta look at it. Like, don't be the prey. You're the predator.
I love you.
In my trunk? No? Everglades, bitch. Let's go.
Dude, that's true, too. I've seen fucking NCIS Miami or whatever the fuck that was. And that's how they disposed of so many bodies. And Nip Tuck did it very effectively.
Carry your own chloroform.
I'm saying. I always have a bottle just in case, you know.
Yeah.
That and the cyanide just like on the side, like the side table, you know.
Okay.
Remember
Okay.
me because.
We gotta be careful with the children.
Oh, the
cyanide
children.
locked them up somewhere.
Yeah, no,
something
I
that
don't
they
even think you can actually. Can you buy cyanide anymore?
I think you can. I think if you research
Work
it,
at
I
it?
think it's like you can either get it like probably dark web or some stupid shit, or like I've heard of people they can make it out of certain things, but I don't fucking know because I'm not a scientist and I don't want to kill myself.
Like my brain hurts by even exploring the option of maybe thinking about that
Like,
for another second.
My fingers started to melt when I was doing this.
You're like origami fingers over there, not giving a fuck. You're like, whatever. Well, so I have a story. So, first of all, to introduce the story, I'm gonna say not all men are created equal. We kind of touched on this a little bit about how there's a difference between a guy who will fucking front and like he knows he's pretty enough to do it for however long he wants to do it, you know, and gets away with it, like your ex, right? And then there's the guy that like tries too hard and you can't fucking get away from them. Now, this guy wasn't like a stalker per se. Like, I mean, he was and he wasn't. Like, we never went on a date, and yet he became a consistent enough problem that I was like, oh my god, I have to change my phone number and my address. Like, I don't know you anymore. Yeah, so this is how it started. So, you know how it's like guy meets girl at a coffee shop. Coffee's great. Can I buy your coffee? Also great. I love coffee. Also love not paying for coffee. Thank you. Leads to we start dating and he's like the sweetest guy, right? Seems so kind and so like, but one thing was odd to me. Two things really. First of all, what he wore. He was always wearing like clothing that I would expect like not even the most secure of males to wear, I guess.
What is it? Was he peacocking?
Yes, he was peacocking. He was peacocking. He was. Like, why are you wearing that right now? Like, who's the bitch in this relationship? Hold on.
Oh, shit.
And then I made the mistake of bringing that up. Now, he was European, so it was like, I tried to make accommodations for they're like their own thing, you know? Like, I'll put it to you this way. We were in a grocery store one time and he lit up a cigarette. I was like, you know, you can't fucking do that in here.
That's boss, though.
Like,
I mean, I don't like smoking, and I don't like smoking, but that's pretty boss.
Well, and he rolled his own
light
cigarettes.
This bitch up.
He was like, he rolled his own cigarette. I didn't even know what he was doing because I was like shopping, you know, doing what you do in a grocery store. And we like are going through the aisle. We're like in the store. This isn't like the entrance or the exit. It's not like inadvertent. He is literally lighting up in the wine aisle. And he's going, this is all shit. And I was like...
What an asshole.
I was like...
This is a Dos Equis, man? Like, what are you doing?
No.
You should just be trashing bottles. Fuck this.
He's a Louis Detrey kind of guy. He likes, like, the finest of alcohols kind of guy.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, I'll put it to you this way. If you return the bottle it comes in, they give you $1,000 back or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like $1,000 or more than that. Somewhere around there. It's ridiculous. So anyway. So we continued dating. He's really sweet. I'm trying to figure out where I left off on this story.
Oh, you were at the supermarket and he's like, this is all crap.
So, you know how you learn about someone that there's always like this, it can be the little things. We were just talking about how it could be like little things that add up. It can be big things too, but like little things can add up. So like he was already grating on my nerves because like he wasn't very nice to servers, and I'm a big proponent of being nice to like anyone in the service industry generally because I've worked in it. You know, it's like, it's the same reason why even if I feel like I walk out of a salon busted, I'll still pay, you know, I still pay, you know? No, is that not normal?
No. I mean, I see what you're saying. And yes, I work, when people are unrealistic or irrational about their service, or you give them what they want, but then they turn around and they just say, I don't want this anymore. You can't say, I don't want to pay for it. But if it's like, dude, I really didn't want, like, if it was that drastic of a, I didn't want it.
Yeah.
It's our job to give you what you want. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's fair. But but he was like rude to servers and things like that. And then his mom calls while we're in the aisle. Mind you, he's just told me that all the aisle wine is the shittiest of wine. And it's like, well, it's all that's in the aisle, so I guess we're gonna have to go somewhere else.
Damn.
And mind you, I was working 3 jobs at the time. And so I didn't have a lot of disposable time, so the idea of going to another store because there was nothing that he liked was kind of like, come the fuck on, are you really gonna be that uppity? Like, I felt like I was dating a woman, is really what I'm getting to.
Okay.
So, do you think, because this became a theme, his mom called while we were in the aisle, and he talked to her the way I don't even talk to my mother like that. Like, hey, yeah, and like, just
girlfriend.
Like girlfriends, yes. And so he gets off the phone, and my fucking asshole personality, I just fucking I unplugged that real quick. I was like, so, are you gay?
Oh.
Like, that quick. Because immediately things started lining up. It's like, okay, you were European on the clothing, but then you started, like, hating other things that... Like, he made a comment about my shoes earlier that day, so it was like, all roads led to you're probably gay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then, that's the moment where you expect any guy to be like, no, why would you even say that? Don't be stupid. Or make a joke about it or something like that. And he goes, yeah, I've been gay this whole time.
So you thought you were on a date, but you weren't?
Here's how it turns out. It turns out that he was having an emotional affair with me.
So he was in a relationship with some dude, and that he wanted you to be like his girlfriend,
yep.
But without sex. That actually sounds like fun, though. Like, that's my favorite. like that's like, I always...
Shout out to the bitches, man. I understand your pain. So...
We were talking about gay, like a gay guy who's like... Well, okay, me personally, okay.
I was the side hag!
But that's okay, I love being the side hag. Like, as long as it doesn't turn sexual or weird. Like, I'm the type of person, my whole life...
I couldn't understand, I will say this, I couldn't understand why you wouldn't fuck me, and then it made sense.
But the thing is, like,
I was like, do I smell like...
No, you have a vagina.
I just had a vagina. But apparently I brought so much emotionally to the table.
Yeah, you fulfilled him in a way, I guess, that his man couldn't at the time, which is probably dangerous for their relationship. But, like... Okay, my whole life I've always had a gay BFF. Like, from preschool up until now. Now is my first time in my life that I don't have, like, a gay male. Like, a gay male.
To have to?
Friend. Yeah. And I'm sad.
You need...
I'm
okay,
the best
alright, so this is...
tag in life.
This has just turned into like an outreach program. Anybody who wants to be her.
But I'm very picky with my relationship because I need a guy that's gonna bring kooky, crazy fun, and
but not too much drama.
But zero drama. Like, I don't need the drama. Like, I mean, I don't want any backstabbing, and that's what happened in my last relationship. I got backstabbed.
Okay, so. Paint me a picture of what your perfect gay man looks like, and maybe we can find him, because the airwaves are cooking. Maybe we can find your new gay pen pal. Although we are getting a local audience. Shout out to anybody in Florida who gives a fuck. I'm so surprised.
Yay.
Yeah, we're getting a local audience, and like I've started reaching out to local businesses. And this one old guy, of all people, his wife is who I originally started the company with, who's just about 10 years older than me, right? His wife's only 10 years older. He's 89. I was like, bitch got it working though.
Yeah, I'm sure she's still moving.
Yeah, and then but you know what he said? He was like, I really like your show. I was like, you like my show? I was like, Daddy Issues with a Z? You like that show? And he's like, oh, yes.
Daddy Issues with a Z. If it had an S, I'd be like, Z's basic. But
it would be basic.
Z's like, bitch is gangster.
Yeah, I ain't fucking around. I will come. We actually had an on-air court episode where we used a guillotine at the end.
What? A real one or a tiny
No,
one?
it was just like a soundbite, but it was pretty epic. We fucking sold it. There was somebody who stole us our material on air, and so we basically I like pled my case, and you know the court was in session, and it was what it was. Sterling, knock it off, for fuck's sake. You're acting like a poor soul in purgatory. We both know you just went out.
I'm feeling this little curl in my hair.
You have been fingering your hair for like an hour.
Like an hour? I love it. I want to keep it forever.
It's like a Betty Boop curl. It's like a Betty Boop curl.
I'm cray. Okay, so my dream gay man.
Yeah. Let's talk about what does she look like? No, just kidding.
Wow. The looks, I'm not super picky about that part. Like, I do like
what's inside is what matters.
Yeah, like a dapper fellow. Like you can't
fellow.
You can't like totally let yourself go. But I don't mind rough around the edges. Like I love rough around the edges. And you have to have like an old school punk soul. Like if you're gay and not totally like, and I don't even care. Like you could be like a little raunchy. It's okay. But like, and you have a punk rocker soul, but you're also like really like to talk shit about everybody. And then you have to be quick with a conversation and like shady as fuck, but love me from the bottom of your heart.
Like, so basically, does he need to be able to handle you ugly crying?
If it's like, this is.
Do you ever get there?
Like, it has to be something super serious.
Yeah.
Like, it really has to be something.
You're like I'm a no drama mama.
Yeah. Other than that, like, I don't need someone who's gonna sit there and deal with my everyday day-to-day issues because I'm a grown woman. I handle that. But I need somebody who can just sit there and like we can entertain each other and just say stupid shit and not have to worry about like those everyday issues. Just have like that friend that you can bullshit with.
Right. Yeah.
That's super important for me. Like, I don't need to tell you, like, oh, what my husband said and did or whatever. But I definitely feel like on some level, I want somebody that if I want to just bullshit with them and just, like, laugh or talk shit about, like, the Met Gala. You know, I like a little bit of fashion.
A little bit of fashion? You're like, when I shop for my gays, I need somebody who's gonna look as good as I want to look all the time. I look for that in a gay.
Yeah, and I like dressing up and being like fashionable, but like in a very like non-traditional sense. And I want a gay.
What does that mean?
Gets that. Like, I like a gay who's cool with the idea that I would want to wear like a vinyl outfit with some bullshit shoes. And just like rock it with a dock, or just like do something a little out there, but like
embrace the crazy.
Cool. Yeah, like I don't need him to be like, oh, you need to look like a beauty queen, but then little beauty queen moments, you know, and they can put my lashes on for me.
Yeah, don't you love it when they can
tell me if I'm fat?
Yeah,
like I know I'm a little chunky, but I need them to tell me like, girl, that outfit, no.
Yeah, because sometimes you need that. I don't know if you could hear me on the mic because I have a really sensitive mic, so I don't know if you could hear it or not, but I was like, really?
I think at one point I heard you say, this is my life right now. And I was like, yep. Like, I have this little dog that I have not gotten fixed yet because I am such a schmo. And I just think he's so little. He needs to grow, right? No,
How
he's
old
2
is
years
he?
old.
Oh,
Two.
yeah, he's not going to grow.
Yeah, he's going to see that. It's like, but when I got him, he's like this big. Like, I'm not going to fucking put a tiny thing like this. And I'm like that. Like, with my first son, I was forced to circumcise. I don't know if I should have this conversation, but
Oh, no,
my
you're
husband's
fine.
like, circumcision. And I was like, okay, but I cried. Because I was like, and then the second one, like, he wasn't so strict. And then I was like, okay, we'll do it because we did it with the other one, but then I wasn't going to push it and we never did it. And I was like, yes, this is a wiener.
Well, it's your choice.
I know. But then I realized, like, they don't really need it. You know, even though I am part Jewish or whatever, I didn't have it by a rabbi. It was a doctor. So it was like.
Right. Yeah, you're like, there was no bris. You're like, none of that was taking place. No, well, my son was circumcised. I mean, it's like, there wasn't like a whole
Thought process.
Yeah, like there was in the sense that I don't buy into the you have to do it for health reasons anymore. It's not the fucking Middle Ages. Like, you can live uncircumcised. You know, like, come on. But I don't know. I thought of it in terms of what I was exposed to myself, and that was the only association I had. It wasn't a religious thing. It wasn't even an emotional thing. And maybe it should have been. That maybe sounds... It's not that I didn't think or care, you know? It was just that I didn't... I guess I didn't take... Fuck, maybe I should have... Now I'm starting to think maybe it was a shitty thing not to think about it.
No, because they don't need... Like, they don't... It's not going to affect him long term. Like, regardless, either way.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not, like, judging... I'm not, like, pro uncircumcision. I just wasn't trying to push for it.
Yeah.
But it's like that. It's like... the same thing with my dog. I was like, I got to go get him fixed. But I'm like... And that's why he pisses on things, because he's marking his territory. And but I feel bad. I'm such a bitch.
Well, I actually, you know, I understand what that's like, because I have a puppy right now, and that's why I walked out to, like, a mess. And I can't be all things. You know, like, right now, I'm lucky the baby's out of the house. You know, in an hour from now, I'll be lucky if I get, you know, shit off the ground. It's a process. And I have to run the show for as long as you can. And, you know, one thing about being, like, having a podcast like this is that it gives me an outlet. But one of the things that I've had to learn is that there is an ebb and flow, and you have to adjust yourself a bit to make sure that if this is something you really want to pursue, that you make time for it. And now that I've done that, it's still hard. Like, the thing that just happened, I could tell the dog was whining, so I let him out of his crate. I thought he just wanted to hang out. And I was petting him, and then all of a sudden he just, like, starts taking a huge shit in front of me. Mind you, my dogs are trained. But with the water, them drinking the nasty water, this and that, you know, it's just like, nobody's feeling great, I guess, with the rain. And it's supposed to be like it. It's supposed to be like this all week, they said?
Really?
Yes.
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, I don't watch the news. I just heard this by word of mouth, so I thought maybe... I was amazing that there was a line out to you because you're another local. I'm like, do you know?
I really wasn't paying attention because I was definitely, like, focused on day drinking yesterday, which was fun. But then by 8:30, I was like, oh, I can't do this. And I passed out. Like, by the time I put my kids to sleep, I passed out. I was done. I couldn't even hang.
I couldn't hang.
Husband.
I couldn't hang. Not that I had anyone to hang with, but, like, I couldn't hang. I was tired. I was supposed to be editing this last episode that her and I did, and I haven't gotten through it. And there's some good shit in there, and I just haven't It's not that I haven't gotten to it, I haven't finished it. And I keep saying that, and I just haven't finished it. And normally, I'm pretty on my game, and at the same time, it's like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm fucking tired.
You're a mom, dude. It's hard out here for us. We always end up doing every last fucking thing and then some, like, it's intense stuff.
You see me? I'm fucking yawning
Yeah,
for the
we're ready
work.
for nap time.
Dude. You went from daddy issues to mommy issues to just fuck.
I need a nap.
Erica, I need a nap.
But yeah, no. Okay, so the dream gay.
The dream gay. Find my gay. God, this could be like a dating
you're
show.
Out there, I am here.
Make
I'm
your
super
plea.
cute and quirky. I will have your back 1,000% because that's the kind of bitch I am.
Aw,
And
a ride or die.
I always have been, always will be, and that's why when I get burnt hard.
Yeah.
I hold it on forever. I can't let shit go.
You're like, I still am mad about shit that happened when I was in kindergarten because that bitch knew better.
That motherfucker. I did get in a fist fight in kindergarten in front of the whole school with this dude. And I forgot his last name, but his first name is Mike. And motherfucker done... It's something to do with my hair. Like, if you fuck with my hair, I go down. So I'm on top of him. I'm pummeling him in front of my cousin who was in 8th grade, was like, what's going on in kindergarten? Oh, it's Caroline. You know, blue-haired Betty. And then...
Blue-haired Betty. It's blue-haired Betty.
And then he starts crying because we have to go to the principal's office. Motherfucker, I sat there like a G. Sat there. And I knew, like, the whole... I remember
not giving a fuck.
And then freshman year of high school rolls around, and this, you know, somewhat attractive but not my type kind of guy comes up at me, and he's like, you know, I remember our fist fight, and I had such a crush on you. And I was like, bitch, keep walking.
Bitch, keep moving.
I don't like you then. I still don't like you.
Don't you think that's funny? I think that happens with females a lot too. And I know I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday. I was like, what is it about your fucking PMs and DMs on Instagram and like Facebook blowing the fuck up just when you're feeling... You haven't even cast the net. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers are thirsty. And you're like... But here's the thing, I can't even reject you nicely. Because when I do, you keep coming for it. And the more not nicely I do it, the more of an asshole you become to me for just being like, hey, I'm just not interested. Mm-hmm. Can't I just say that and it'd be cool? Like, honestly, and I'm sure guys are sitting there listening to this because we have a 50% audience, so it's like, guys, actually, I'm surprised you give a shit, but... I'm sure they're sitting there thinking, well, for fuck's sake, like, we could say the same in reverse. But the thing is like, I'm really fucking honest. Like, if I'm not feeling it, I'll tell you. You know, I'm not gonna hold on to something I'm not feeling. If I'm angry with you, I'm gonna be real about why. I'm not gonna be like, I'm fine. No. No, here's what's wrong. I'm that meme that you've seen with like Beyonce with the shit blowing up behind her. She's like, and this is why I'm mad. Because that's me. Because when I finally get to the point where you've woken the fucking animal inside of me, watch out. She's not very nice. And I'll be honest about that. I'll be candid about that. But that said, not that I think that's the right way to be either. I don't think you should be like all or nothing. You know, but
I mean, it depends on who you're with. I think you can be, because somebody out there is going to appreciate that. Nobody really wants a wishy-washy bitch anyway. They don't want a girl that's going to be like, I can be wishy-washy and I won't lie, because I have learned.
You're like, about that I am.
Yeah. But I've learned over time that I just don't give a fuck on certain things. So, like, if I'm really mad at you, I'll tell you. But if I'm just, like, mad at you because of something stupid, like, I ain't having that conversation.
You'll
so
let
it
roll. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. But then, you know, then it backs up. And then I'm like, am I being passive aggressive? But
you'll start, like, making comments. You'll be like... She'll be like, you want to go out? No, I saw that you did that with Kelly the other day. Obviously, you're busy.
Yeah. I'm like, motherfucker, I don't give a shit. But no, guys don't want that either. Like, I drive my husband crazy sometimes because he'd be like, what do you want to eat? What do you want to do? I don't know. And then he'll just drive around in circles until I figure it out.
That's
like, literally.
That's
he
the
didn't care for
struggle.
5 hours. Or, you know, stupid shit like that. But at the end of the day, like, I think he wished I was more like what we were when in the beginning, when I would just be flat out how I wanted to be and say how I wanted to do it, and then he'd be cool with it.
Yeah.
And then later in life, you're like, oh, fucking no. Have a cheeseburger.
You're tired. Kids do that to you. They fucking pull your soul out of your chest and they're like, here, take it. You're like, just have it, take it.
Yep.
And then you're like, and this feels good, doesn't it? It feels great. No, I think, well, I've been married, and at some point I think it was happy, I guess. It was more of, the first year I wasn't aware of how unhappy we were.
Aww.
And, like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I did everything right. I'm never gonna be the bitch who's been like, I didn't do anything wrong, like, he's just a piece of shit. Except in the case of this one guy.
Okay.
Because he was an absolute sociopath. And he's now married to some other person who I'm very sad for in advance.
Aww.
Because, well, I'm not really. That's my sarcasm at work, because she cheated on him with me. And they conceived a child together during our marriage. Yeah.
He's that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
But then you feel bad for the child. But then he's going to grow up like a sociopath, possibly. So then...
Oh, not even possibly, yeah.
Aw, that's sad.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It is sad. And I even said it to a friend of mine. I was like, the kids don't get a vote in this whole mess. They don't know that their parents are total, like, nut jobs. But, like, at the same time, you can't micromanage the world either.
No.
Not that I want to...
with it.
Yeah, not that I want to get philosophical on that front at all. Like, do we need to have a thinning of the herd? But being honest, I think that we could stand to lose a few. I just wish they would vote themselves off the island.
That's the thing, is the sociopath and narcissists are always going to fight tooth and nail to fucking win. That's why you have to have bitches like us who's going to be like, let's see, motherfucker.
I am so that bitch. That's why, you know how you're like, shit builds up? I'm like, oh yeah, it does. Because, like, really, I can be chill as fuck. I'm cooler than a fan if you let me. Like, as long as you're real with me and honest with me, we're going to be fine. Unless your vibe is so off that I'm like, he's a little rapey. Like, he's got that thing going that makes me feel like he can't be around a school zone.
Oh, yeah. That's
but, like,
weird.
Short of that, I'm pretty cool with people. Even if I'm later just going to be thinking to myself, what the fuck did I just walk into? What was that? Because I live in Florida, so it's like, you get it.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking weirdos.
Speaking of weirdos, on Atlantic Ave, I shoot, like, photography on Atlantic Ave almost every weekend. And when I'm rolling around, talk about some really interesting shit. You've got these classy bitches, then you've got the chicks that are trying to look classy, then you got the chicks that are trying to look so slutty that I feel like they might as well be doing porno right in front of us. And, like, everything in between, and yet, I'm like a crack addict. Every fucking weekend I have to do it. I have to, like, every weekend I have to just people watch for, like, a little while. Not even that long, like an hour.
The best people watching, the real good stuff, is Lake Ave, man.
Where's Lake Ave?
Oh, but I used to work in downtown Lake Worth for many years. I was a local. I still kind of am because I know a lot of people there, but I don't partake as much. But it's downtown Lake Worth. Lake Ave.
Like where
Knox where they have the street painting festival, and that's some fucking shit show right there. I was like years and years and years I lived there, and that was my favorite place because of the shit show. It used to be more of a shit show when they didn't have like proper police stations, and like everything was kind of just like, it's Lake Worth land, you know? But there's still really like crazy, weird, random locals, and just, it's fun. That's a good place for people watch. But you gotta hold on to your purse and maybe have a gun on you because somebody might jack you in the corner.
I can't drive into Lake Worth without packing heat. I can't.
Yeah.
Because,
that's just normal. And sadly, and I'm not trying to talk shit, but don't be walking around with guns in Lake Worth.
Right. We're not like popping anybody. Yeah. I'm just trying to make sure if you try breaking, I got carjacked. I think I told you this the first month I was down here. Guy tried carjacking me, so it's a real thing, and that was not in the worst of areas. So it's like when I get to Lake Worth, I'm like, slow down. Let's speed through this neighborhood as fast as possible and make sure everything's cocked, locked, and loaded.
literally lived in Lake Worth in some of the shittiest places, and like I have stories upon stories, and I've never gotten jacked. Well, no, one time my place got broken into.
See, there's always
there
that
was somebody
one
I
story.
knew. There was somebody I knew.
Okay, so you don't count that one. You're like, that wasn't random. That was
it was
personal.
an inside job.
Inside job.
Bitch stole my soup. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Stole my motherfucking soup.
That's some fucking hoe shit. Someone breaks in your house, steals your shit.
A chunky crackhead. You can never trust a chunky crackhead. That's the truth.
Words to live by. Chunky crackhead.
Yeah.
That sounds like a new Campbell's soup. Chunky crackhead coming to you with locked in a tin can. I'll bet I could sell that, chunky crackhead.
Yeah, in Lake Worth.
In Lake Worth. I'd be like, you got that chunky crackhead I've been looking for.
Yeah. No, like I'm trying to think. I've never been robbed.
I've been robbed, and my dog greeted me at the door. Like, yeah, they took everything. Like, the door was wide open. There was nothing in my house. Huh?
They stole my cat.
You stole your fucking cat?
Stole my cat.
What a bitch. Did you steal it back?
I couldn't because she was a drifter type. I knew where her mama was at, but she was one of those girls that just a mess.
She was like, I wasn't going to track that hoe down.
I mean, I have stories upon stories, but if I had not met that hoe, I would have never met my husband. So then, you know what?
You should have just followed the trail of broken dreams. You would have found her. Like, all of the mistakes laid out behind her.
She would move to the most random places. Like, she'd be in Kentucky. Or, like, weird shit.
You're like...
her man was a weirdo. It was just... I wasn't going there.
Instead of where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, where in the world is my crackhead out with my kitty?
Crackhead, bitch, you know who you are. You know who the fuck you are.
Where are you at with that crack and that cat?
Like, nobody knew her name, like, the right name. Like, I knew her name because I knew her mom, but she'd always give people a different name.
Yeah, I learned that's a drifter thing. Like, every place they go to, they have a new name. I learned that because my co-host used to be kind of like a drifter type. She was homeless, and she told me... First of all, I learned there's a difference between being houseless and homeless. Because I was houseless, not homeless, because I was still at a car. It's because I was living out of my car at one point, so I learned the definition there. Big difference. Also learned never trust a trucker, which, I mean, I feel like is common knowledge, but there's some schematics there. Yeah, like, they're the dirtiest motherfuckers on the planet, which I kind of already knew.
Because they're always on meth and speed and no-dos and shit.
Yeah, and so, like, there's like a whole technique on how if you're gonna, like, ride with them and pop a ride with them, like, you gotta do it. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So, but, like, fucking, what was I talking about? Why was I talking about that?
Drifters and names.
Oh, yeah, so I learned that when you move to a new place, you can, like, instead of just being like, I just want to be a new person, you can be. You're just like, my name is, and blank. Like, whatever you want. Yeah.
She was that person.
Well,
she was 100% that person.
And it's kind of cool because, like, my co-host told me a story about how she was living in a tree, like, not a tree house, like a fucking tree itself, and other drifters had lived there before. So, like, but they were, like, they changed their name, so when she was reintroduced to the same drifter, he had a different drifter name.
Okay.
It was the same guy, though. He was like, I've already met this drifter.
That's fucking hilarious. I'm not even hating on that. Like, it's funny, when I met this girl, she had, like, this humongous mohawk, chunky, just, like, didn't give a fuck. And I loved it. And she would, like, drink beer off of tables and just, like, shit everywhere. Like, she was weird. She was the weirdest person I ever met, honestly. And I loved it. I was like, let's take her everywhere. And then, I don't know, like, and then when I came to find out, when she was hanging out with my husband's group, she was a different person. And she was like this little valley girl type of girl or something. And later come to find out that her personality that she was putting out was like a repetition or something of like something that my husband and his friends were doing. Because they were like gutter punk dudes, just fucking around, just being stupid.
Yeah.
You know what guys do at a young age, you know?
Yeah.
And she just was like embodied their personality and like a lot of his mannerisms and weird shit. And I was like, I always thought she was so funny and cool. And then later I find out, I'm like, she had the personality of my husband. And that was what was endearing to me.
Yeah.
It was weird.
You were like,
No,
I
my
like
husband's
you.
a weirdo.
Well, I mean, you have to pick the weird that works for you, I think.
Yeah.
And then, or you don't, and you just are like, I can't fucking pick anybody. I don't know. I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't know if anybody can really handle me permanently.
I think that this is an inside job situation. Like maybe you're gonna have to like move on a pace that you can grow within yourself.
See, that's the thing. I am very secure with where I'm at.
Okay.
You know, like I don't feel the void the way I probably should, because I have so much that I have still to focus on. Like I have to focus on work, and I have to focus on my son, and I have to focus on stability, and I have to focus on creating an emotional environment that's good for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then where do I fit? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but I've started doing things for myself to like focus. So I started meditating again, and I'm working out, I love working out. I forgot how much I love it. And I hate saying that because I sound like one of those bitches that's like a gym rat, but I just like it because I get into my own headspace. And that's a safe place for me to be. Mm-hmm. And once I'm gone from that place and I'm back to reality, I think that's when loneliness can creep in on anyone, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I try and stay motivated and distracted, but, like, I'm not wired with most females where it's like, I need to be connected to somebody to feel connected to a bigger purpose or whatever. I would love to have, like, a partner in crime who totally gets me and understands everything about me and is, like, willing to go the distance in every way. But if you start giving me too fucking much drama, then I can't.
Truth.
I can't, because someone already ruined that and burned that bridge for me. Maybe at some point I will feel differently where you could really fuck me over and I'll still be around.
No.
But why should I be that bitch?
Nobody should.
Yeah, I don't think
I
so.
mean,
I ain't a doormat, that's why they have those already.
Yeah, I think like the universe is so full of like situations, possibilities. Like we have to really honestly be true to like ourselves as people.
Yeah,
ultimately.
I agree.
Like, you know, it's fucked up. Like when you think about shit just in general, how fucked up, like the things that are going on and stuff, and you're like, what the fuck? Like the world's, it's a scary place right now. But like, I know for me, like when I feel my most peace is when I know I'm doing the best for myself. Like I'm speaking my truth, I'm living my truth, I'm, you know, the blue hair, whatever. Like it's all about being authentic and what really makes me happy, but like in a non-materialistic way, like bullshit way. Like I really want to be that like person that my children will like look at and say, damn, that bitch done did it her way.
Yeah.
Like a Frank Sinatra song.
Yeah.
But like the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's not enough people like that in this world.
Right.
We gotta try to raise them.
Right. Right. Yeah, and actually, you know, I think I've definitely lost traction for myself. I think I got derailed, and I think this could happen to anyone, male or female, where you lose sight of your goals. You know, you lose, you get emotionally. I was at a place where I wasn't focusing. I wasn't functioning on a level I should have, and something had to give. And I wasn't about to give something that was making me so happy again. You know? So, like, I had to push back this time, and it didn't work well. You know, the way I pushed back didn't sit well. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't, and you have to accept where you're at, and sometimes the timing isn't right, and sometimes the situation isn't right. And you don't, you know, I'm not saying that for any one person, I'm just saying in general, like, you have to be real with yourself. Is this physically causing me problems? Is it mentally causing me stress to a point where I'm not functioning at work? Is it emotionally draining to the point where I'm not giving all that I should be to myself or my kids or my friends or, you know, whoever is in my life, or even my work ethic, is that failing me? Because like, am I failing it? You know, these are all the things that like I was really battling with at multiple points in my life, but you know, here recently especially, and I feel like that's a really identifiable feeling, because there's not been a woman I've ever spoken to that hasn't been at the point where if she was still working and had a family, she didn't feel like she was between a rock and a hard place, either because she couldn't, you know, get a shift covered, or, you know, her husband wasn't understanding that she had to work so much, or whatever the story is, you know. And I think for me, it took a while for me to gather up the strength to be like, no, I'm going to do this. And you're either going to be on board or you're going to get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah, like it's either you could have a pity party. Like, I'm down for the pity party. Reservation set, okay? I will sit there and fucking, what the fuck? And like, especially if my kids aren't around, like I love having a moment of just truth and just being like, this is unfair.
You have to be
my
human.
life should not be this shitty right now. Like,
yeah.
Every person, if you're listening, if you want to have your pity party, fucking throw it like the biggest, most lavish, every plate in the room, whatever. Like, just not in front of your kids, because you know, like they don't get it.
Yeah,
but
they don't get it.
They can't hang.
Right. Yeah, they can't. They have no chill. No, zero chill, sir.
Maybe one year they'll be like, yeah, mom, fuck shit up.
I will say, I would have never expected my mother and I to be as chill as we are now, but like, shit has fucking shifted. We didn't even speak for like 7-8 years. So for us to be even like, me living near her is like, what? So yeah, so things can change. People change. It's just like you said earlier, and it's so true. You were like, you gotta be feeling yourself. And then as you grow, though, you get to a point where it's like, some of that stuff isn't cool anymore. This is what I want now. This is where I'm at now. And you get more, I feel like you should be getting to the point where you get more secure with yourself and the shit you're not going to take anymore.
Truth be told.
Like,
I'm like, fuck that mess.
I'm sure your husband knows,
professionally.
Like, yeah.
No, it's more professionally. Honestly, I'll tell you the truth. I'm very good at what I do. Like, I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat it.
She is. She's
like,
not lying. Check out my Instagram.
Like,
my hair looks amazing because of her. It's true. Don't look at it right now, but like because of her, my hair looks amazing.
No, you look cute. Your hair looks silky and shit. But like, I walk in like a real G, and I don't do it like cocky. I don't do none of that stuff. I just do me 100%, and I do my best work every time. But I've walked into places and it's consistent where it's like I work for people or I deal with people, and then there's the jealousies, there's the backstabbing, there's the she said this. And since I'm very outspoken, you know, it's never I have a hard time dealing with that nonsense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
do too. I have a hard time dealing with most nonsense, and to the point where I'm like, okay, bye. I'm missing the gene. Tell me what's wrong with me. Because do you ever, when you, not with like maybe your husband, but like when you were on the cusp of breaking up with someone, did you have that pain where you're like, oh, this is really gonna hurt for like a long time? Or were you like, oh. See?
It really depends on the person.
It does
honestly.
depend on the person.
I've broken up with dudes in the past, and then my first real boyfriend, you know, I was a young kid, but he was determined to marry me. You know, I was 17, he was 21, which is probably an inappropriate age, but that's how it happened. And, you know, I thought when I was really young, that was the love of my life. But then the moment I realized, like, no, he didn't fit the bill, you know, as I was growing in myself rapidly, I broke up with him. And I honestly didn't feel bad. Like, it was weird. But then as I got older and realized how like deep love can be, I love way too deep. That's the problem. I will still love someone. If I loved you 10 years ago and I love you, I'm going to love you.
Right. Yeah. And
I may not look at you.
Yeah. And that's where it has to be. Sometimes you have to draw lines, but you're still like, I love the shit out of you. I want the best for you. There isn't a damn thing. I don't wish ill on a single person that's ever crossed me in my life except one.
There's some people.
There's one person that fucking earned it. And if I ever had the justice I've ever seen, I'd enjoy every second of it. But I don't want to be the hand that guides it either. You know, I'm not malicious in any way. I'm not gonna fucking crawl up your ass and be the crazy bitch to, like, fucking hunt you down after the fact. When we're done, it's okay. But I will say, if I see you get yours, I won't cry about it either. I ain't crying.
Nope.
And I will say there were a lot of motherfuckers that crossed my path that while I wouldn't ever want to, like, that I wouldn't wish them ill will, like I was mentioning for that one person. Oh, I wouldn't mind if they fell on their fucking faces, though. That wouldn't hurt me.
Like, you're not gonna Nancy Carey, you're not gonna, like, Tanya Hardy them, but if somebody else did it, you'd be like, yeah, bitch, you deserve that.
Right, exactly. Tanya Harding it. That's a fucking good reference, actually.
I like Tanya Harding.
Because she fucking said it.
She's the anti-hero, and I go for the anti-hero because,
I do too. The underdog is worth it.
But I'm Team Tanya all day. And I don't know if she capped her. I don't know if she always says she didn't know. But even if she did know, you know, shit happens.
Shit happens! I feel like that's an interchangeable phrase that I'm gonna end up clipping out of this episode just to save for later. Shit happens! Brought to you by Blue-Haired Betty.
So serious.
You're fucking funny. I think you undersold you a little bit to me. You were like, I'm gonna be weird and awkward. And basically what you meant was you just needed to wake up and, like, warm up to your morning. I don't even, what are you drinking? Wine?
It was a little tiny thing of wine. It was, like, literally just, I have a coffee cup because I was like, I'm not going to be ratchet. And then I did about less than half. And it was just enough just to kind of, because I had been drinking and my eyeballs were hurting. So I just needed a little time.
That, by the way, is the most Floridian cup I've ever seen. It's got, like, a fucking sea turtle on it, for Christ's sake.
It's actually from Hawaii. My mother-in-law brought it from Hawaii for me. And I said, thank you. And I kept it. Because I'm like, I'll never go there. But hey, like, well, maybe one day I will.
Maybe you will.
But
maybe if you find your perfect gay, maybe he'll take you like a puppy on your yacht of dreams. And you guys can have caviar dreams. Then your husband can be, like, sunning himself on the back, like, you know, he's like, just don't touch her, and you can joke together, and then we can broadcast while you're, like, cruising around. This is blue-haired Betty reporting live.
Like, my actual dream, like, long term, like, when shit goes down and, like, my kids are grown, like, I want to find, like, a really rich person who wants, like, their fabulous hair done at every port, and I travel on their yacht and do their hair. And they do fabulous things, and then I can go slum it. Like, that'll be fun.
Okay, so, like, how many years from that process are you? You, like, 10 years out? What are you? How many years in the slam under
20 years from now. Like, 20 years. That's a long game. Like, now, like, right now, the dream is do hair, take care of kids, and then possibly become, like, the epic South Florida hairdresser, like, the bitch people want to go to get their hair done. Because that's the dream. You want to be that bitch, right? Like, if you do something in life, you want to be the bitch that everybody's like, yeah, go to Blue-Haired Betty. Like,
take care, brush your hair. Fuck. Look at the hair flip. You're like, oh, so sassy. I'm surprised. Are you still messing with that curl, that one little Betty Boop curl you got going on? Yeah, you are too. Yeah, you fucking are too.
To keep it all day, but I gotta take a shower, so it's gonna go away.
Oh, that's so sad.
Oh.
So,
I'm happy.
So how have you enjoyed joining me?
It was so much fun. I could do this all day.
Yeah?
Let's go. I just hear my kid outside.
Well, perfect timing, because I'm gonna wrap this shit show up. So, if you would like to find Blue-Haired Betty in person, she's got a real name. Her name is Carol. Can I say your name?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan. I'm here.
Caroline. Did I say it right?
Yeah. And at my shop, there are 3 Carolines.
I know. That had to define the blue-haired one.
There's a Carolini, and then there's me. Carolina, Carolini, Caroline. And it's funny because I was like, didn't really think that one through. But definitely asked for the blue-haired one because she is everything.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
Yes. Salon Resta, Del
Salon
Rey.
Resta Del Rey. See,
Yeah.
I always fuck shit up. That's why I make people plug their own shit.
Yeah, I'm not offended. I didn't name it.
But they can find you on Instagram. So,
and
Caroline
actually,
yeah, I'm gonna put a link in our show notes so you can check that out, and hopefully my wife will get to record some audio that we could do a bit of a workaround. But I'm so glad that you did this with me. I definitely want to have you back.
I would love to. This is so much fun. Like this, I don't really get out much, so me sitting in my house doing this thing is like entertainment, and I'll keep the wine flowing.
With my co-host, I definitely love for her to get to chat with you. Also, I know that y'all would get along very well.
You said she was a drifter. I was like, okay, let's go.
She's come down. Like now she's a mom of 3, and but she's still crazy as shit, and I love every second of it. That's a ride.
Oh, great.
So, but she's in the UK, so she has a 5-hour time difference, is just why we have to record in the mornings. But, she will be missed today, and then, in the meantime, check out the show notes. You can find Caroline the Colorist on Instagram. Yay! Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I had so much fun.
Aww, she's so cute. Go get your hairs did, ladies. Go get your crown on. Then you can get your game on. Then you can get rid of your man. Fucking find me. Everything will be fine. No, just kidding.
It's all good. Like, I'm the type of girl, like, you want on your corner. Because I'll make you look extra pretty. And you find yourself a doctor from Dubai, which I done did once.
Did you really? That is the fucking talk about the chupacabra. That is the fucking home run.
That's actually kind of scary though, because you know how they have multiple wives. But I literally told this girl, I said, "You're gonna find yourself a doctor," and then she came next to me. She's like, "I found myself a doctor, and he's from Dubai." I was like, "Oh, that's money," but that's just like funny stuff. You know what I mean?
This is the shit that women talk about, and I'm over here like, no, I make my own money. Can I just find a man who will fucking throw me over his shoulder and hold on to me long enough?
You need both though. Like they gotta throw you over the shoulder, but then also like feed you and like get you whatever you want.
I love when a dude feeds me. It makes me a much more reasonable individual for sure. Yeah. I'm nicer. Unless no hangry shade. You don't want a hangry shade. Well, anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm getting out. She's getting out. Shout out to blue-haired Betty, which I just fucking flubbed the shit out of. Definitely check out the most recent episode of damagedgoods.libsyn.com. I may have had a guest appearance, and perhaps my wife was also part of that shit show. So check that out. And then next week we've got a whole bunch of new crap for you, including a naughty bedtime story. So looking forward to that. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for joining us on Daddy Issues, brought to you by the Damaged Goods Network.